Welcome to Alicia's Ample Kitchen and Tuesday Tries with Alicia. Today we are going to be taking our leftover turkey meat, because I don't know about you, but I have a ton left from Thanksgiving, and we're going to make a super easy gluten-free, naturally, turkey and rice soup. Okay, so we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of oil. Get to the 2 tablespoon mark here. Put that in our big stock pot. I'm making a double batch because, like I said, I have a lot of turkey left, so I'm making a ton. So I'm actually doubling the normal recipe. But if you put recipe in the comments below, I will get you the regular recipe. Okay? All right. So we're going to let that heat up just for a quick second. And then we are going to add some diced garlic. And I prepared all my veggies beforehand so you all could, I'm going to use this side, so you all could just see the recipe being cooked. But if you're curious and how I super easily got all these vegetables and things prepped, make sure to check out my reels over on this page or Instagram, and you can see how I prepped for this live today, okay? All right, so now we're going to add the onions and celery. Lots of onions, okay? I used 2 large onions for this. And I used 4 stalks of celery. And we're going to let this cook down just a bit. We want to make it nice and translucent, right? Cook this down a little bit. Now, if I wasn't doing the live, I could easily just throw this cover on here and let them cook down even faster, because we're not really looking for any kind of special color or anything. When we're cooking onions and stuff normally, you know, and we're stirring it a bunch with the oil, we want it to kind of brown up and look pretty, right? But with the soup recipe, you don't necessarily have to make it look fancy. So you could throw all your stuff in there, put the pot cover on, and let it kind of cook down on its own, okay? All right, we'll pop this back open. I'm going to cook this down a little bit, and then I'm going to add my carrots. I kind of wait until it's just starting to kind of get translucent, okay? Let's add a little bit of salt and pepper. Lots of pepper. I love me some pepper. I don't like to use as much salt. Not a big salt fan. I don't like to add a lot of added salt anyway. I figure people can always add it after the fact, right? Can't take it away though. All right, so we're going to keep cooking this down. That's looking pretty good. All right, I'm going to add my carrots. And this is 4 carrots that I peeled and cut up. Grab that other one that's stuck in here. Now, as the carrot got bigger, the slices got a little bigger, but they are still thin, so I think they're going to cook down just fine. But I think next time I'm probably just going to dice them up, I think, for the recipe. But this will work for the time being. I mean, that traditional soup look is always like the half moon or the, circular shape. So we're going to go with it. They were just really fat carrots, so it got really, really big towards the end. All right. So then this is at the point where you could literally just put that top on like we talked about and let it cook down. All right, now this is nice and cooked down. The onions and the celery is looking more translucent than before, so I think we are ready for our chicken broth, okay? So I just grabbed some chicken broth. This is Swanson's. It's gluten-free. And I'm going to use this whole entire thing. And I'm still cooking on high, okay? I'm going to dump this all in here. So if you're using just one recipe instead of doubling it like me, you're going to use one of these containers. This is the 48 ounce, okay? But I am actually going to use 2 of these bad boys. And the cool thing about making double is, one, it's going to use up some of this turkey that needs to be used up. And I can just freeze it and have it for whenever I'm feeling soup, right? So I like to make big batches to make my life easier. If I'm having like an off day or I need something quick and easy, I can unthaw some of this and it'll be ready to go. All right, give this a little bit of a stir. So this is going to keep cooking down and heating up. And then now I'm going to add my seasonings. So I'm going to actually use a tablespoon of thyme and onion, okay? Voila. And then I'm going to use the rosemary herb. These are 2 seasonings that I used actually in my stuffing as well on Thanksgiving and on the turkey, and it was awesome. So I think it's going to really make this soup taste delicious as well. There we go. Stir that around. Oh, it smells so good. All right, we're going to keep letting this heat up. And at this point, you're going to shred your turkey, okay? But I already did, and that is another thing. You can go check out my reels, how I super easy and fast shredded this using our salad chopper, actually, okay? So I'm using all dark meat. We don't have a lot of dark meat eaters in the family, but, you know, in soup, they can't tell the difference. So we're going to use all of this dark meat that I had, and we're going to add that to our liquid mixture here. There we go. Stir that around. Now we're talking. We're going to keep letting this heat up. So I'm going to put my top back on and we're going to let it get to a nice little rumble boil, okay? All right, so now we're going to add our rice. I'm adding a whole entire cup of rice. I'm also going to add a little bit of bouillon. Now, this is the brand I like to use because it's gluten-free. And I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of this, okay? This just gives it a little bit more added flavor. So we're going to do 1 and 2. And we're going to mix that in here. And we're starting to get back up to that boil that I want. I'm going to stir this in, make sure it's super stirred in. And then we need to let that simmer for about 20 minutes to cook our rice. All right, so we have been letting this simmer down for about 20 minutes. Let's check it out and see how it looks. Woo! Looking good. Let's give it a stir and see how our rice is doing. Oh, that looks about perfect. All right, I'm going to shut it off. And we're going to scoop it into our bowl just so you can see the good yumminess. My ladle is like gone. It apparently got legs and ran away. So we're just going to use this little handy dandy spoon this time around. Look at that. Look how good that turned out. I can't wait to dive in. So there is the recipe, guys. It's super easy. Use your leftover turkey or chicken if you have chicken. Naturally gluten-free. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. So here's your recipe. Make sure you comment below and